What is up, guys? Dzeeff here, and today we are opening up our second box of Ghosts from the Past. Like I said, I don't really know why I actually bought a second box, but it just looked kind of fun. We have some great cards to pull from here that we have not pulled yet. Obviously, we're always looking for ghost rares. Probably not going to happen, but I'm also looking to get back into playing Madolche. I've been really interested in that deck, and there are a lot of rarity upgrades in this set, so that is pretty cool. But mostly in today's video, while we're opening these packs, that's kind of just going to be a background thing. I want to talk about some of my opinions about this set. Now, I know right now it is very easy to complain about Ghosts from the Past on every single video. I know a lot of people are doing that, and I don't think that's necessarily wrong. I think that a lot of people agree with those complaints. And in today's video, I am going to talk about some of my complaints, but I'm also going to give my opinions on some complaints that I maybe don't agree with. But yeah, overall, Ghosts from the Past is a very interesting set and one that seems to be quite controversial. So one of the things that makes Ghosts from the Past so interesting, and one of the things that I think has really been its downfall in the end of it, has been that this was by far one of the most hyped sets in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Like, a lot of people thought this was going to be the best set of 2021, and we're talking about a situation where we only knew like less than 10 of the cards, and people still thought that. And I think that that was a really big situation, because a lot of people thought this set was going to be amazing. Nice, we got the Madolche Pedicessor, I believe that is pronounced. That is pretty cool. That is obviously the big card Madolches these days. It's really weird going back to Madolches, by the way, after not playing them since 2015, and putting sets in the same pack. Very cool. But yeah, so this set has a ton of hype, and a lot of people were really excited for it, but we really didn't know that much about it. We knew it would have ghost rares. We knew they would be rare. It said that in the initial description, but we did not know all of the ghost rares, and we also did not know all of the reprints. Konami had given us a few of the reprints, so we kind of knew what was going on, but overall we didn't really know a lot of the cards in the set. And I think that this ended up hurting the set quite a bit, because people kind of came up with their own ideas about what Ghosts from the Past would be. And then we had those crazy buyouts over like the last month or so before the set was released, maybe even longer than that, where people were sort of cranking up the price of the set on the secondary market. So then this set that was supposed to be $15 became $30 online. And yeah, unsurprisingly, this set that is supposed to be $15, it does not have $30 of value in every single little box here. And it's weird to me that a lot of people, every time I mention the $15 thing, a lot of people seem to not know that. People might only be looking at online shops to pick these up, and they don't realize that the MSRP is $15. And I think that difference is a big one, because while the set could be argued that it's still not worth $15, I think pretty much everyone agrees it's not worth $30 a box. That is insane. I mean, who the heck would pay $30 for this type of box? I'm sure people have done it, and I know that on the secondary market, by the time you're watching this video, the packs have probably gone down in price. But I think that was one of the biggest things that I noticed while I was making videos about this set. A lot of people out there, I don't think we've pulled that card before, it's pretty cool, Starry Night Rael, a lot of people out there did not know that the MSRP of this set was $15. So sure, the price has definitely got a lot of people complaining, but I don't really agree with that complaint, because it is supposed to be half the price of what a lot of people were trying to sell it for. Nice, Salamangreat Fowl is pretty cool. And Armed Dragon level 10 is pretty cool as well. So that moves on to the next complaint, which I think is the most legitimate complaint out of all of them. And by the way, this set is so annoying to open because you have to have like scissors on hand at all times. So the biggest complaint that I saw that I think people really do sort of all agree on, and I personally agree on as well, is that the card choices in the set, they're not perfect. And I think there are different levels of this complaint. People saying that every card in the set is terrible, which really isn't true. But yeah, I think the card choices in Ghosts from the Past are, there are some good ones, and I think some ones that people are excited about, but others not so much. For example, I know that one area that people do not really like is that the Dragoonity structure deck cards from the OCG are in this set as cards that you can pull. Now that's kind of interesting, and it has worked in the past, by the way. People complained about the pendulum structure deck thing a lot initially, but I think overall people ended up not really caring. However, with this one, at least at the moment, the Dragoonity cards are a lot more expensive than they would have been if they would have just been in a structure deck. So I think a lot of people, oh my gosh, nice, evenly matched. This is actually a good segue into the other problem with the cards in this set. There aren't really that many big reprints. Now there are a ton of smaller sort of mid-size reprints that I think a lot of people don't realize. There are tons of rogue cards in the set that were like $15 to $20 and had no reason to be that expensive. In this set reprinted a ton of those types of cards. So if you're a fan of those types of decks, if you play Cosmos, for example, if you're looking to play Cosmos, maybe you'll like to pick up Tin Can for not $20. Nice red Supernova Dragon. I think it's one of the better cards in the set as well, really cool looking. And maybe if you're trying to play, for example, Madolches, you know, it's pretty cool to pick up the Pudding Cess for a cheaper price. And even a card like Danger Thunderbird, which was like $10 for some reason, those cards were all reprinted in this set, and I think those were good choices. But outside of evenly matched, there really aren't any generic good reprints in this set, at least not cards that were expensive. And I think for a lot of players, that's what they're looking for out of a reprint set. And I think that's perfectly fine. I really do think that the most legitimate complaint about this release has to be the cards inside. People complain about the price a lot, and they complain about the other thing that I'll mention in a second, but I think the actual cards could have been better. I think they're pretty good. I think a lot of players are going to be excited for the reprints, and it seems like these cards are selling quite well online. But from a box opening perspective, from a case opening perspective, outside of the Ghost Rares, there's really not a lot of high valued reprints. You have the evenly matched, yes, but realistically, how many of those are you going to pull out of a box, out of a case? So I think that they could have put like 1 or 2 more big reprints in the set. I think that would have been really nice. I'm not exactly sure which cards they would have picked though, because a lot of people have pointed this out, but I'll point it out as well. The Megatins are in the next few months here going to release, and those are going to be huge. Those are going to reprint some of the best sets we've seen in a very long time, which is pretty exciting. So those have a ton of great reprints, and if you put any of the cards that would be reprinted in those into this set, maybe people wouldn't be as hyped to pick those up. So while it would have helped out Ghosts from the Past to reprint cards that are going to be in the Megatins, I think if Konami wants to continue the Megatins having a ton of hype, they're going to have to wait and put those cards in there instead of in this set. But I think there are cards that probably won't be in the Megatins that could have been in Ghosts from the Past that people would have been excited to see. So yeah, that kind of concludes my thoughts on the second complaint that I see a lot of people talking about, the cards in the actual set. Tyrannic Seal, by the way, another great reprint that I forgot to mention earlier. This card was quite expensive. It is currently seeing a ton of play in Dragon Link, a top tier strategy. That is a great reprint in the set. So that brings us to the final complaint that I see the most comments about. So far we've talked about the price, which I think a lot of people don't realize what the actual price is. So I'm not sure if I entirely agree with that complaint. We've talked about the cards inside the set, which I do agree with in many cases. But finally, we have the complaint about the Ghost Rares. Now, some people are complaining about the cards that they selected. I know a lot of people really believed that Dark Magician Girl leak a while back, and I think people were pretty disappointed when that leak turned out to be faked. But I think the other issue that a lot of people have with the Ghost Rares is that the set is called Ghosts from the Past, and you pretty much never pull Ghost Rares. They are like as rare as Starlight Rares or Collector's Rares or those types of cards. I don't think they're exactly the same as those cards, but they are kind of the same idea, where they are chase cards that you aren't really going to pull that often. So on one hand, I am sympathetic with people that wanted more Ghost Rares in the set and wanted them to be easier to pull, because the set is, after all, called Ghosts from the Past. However, Konami also told us in the product description from day one that the Ghost Rares were going to be incredibly rare, so you weren't going to be guaranteed to pull them a lot. So I think that a lot of people missed that in the initial sort of product summary page, and I think that was an issue because with people missing that for however long the Ghost from the Past product page was up until it was released, people were like thinking that we were going to have a ghost rare in every box or maybe every display box. And I can see where people were coming from if they didn't read the description, but also Konami was never really hiding that there weren't going to be that many ghost rares in this set. Last pack, by the way, we have Heraldic Seal, Starry Night Astel, Sunvine Maiden, Tackle Crusader, and Starry Night Flamel or something. I don't really know. But yeah, sorry, I haven't really been talking about the cards at all. I've just kind of been talking about Ghosts in the Past. So we have this situation where I do agree that maybe there should have been more ghost rares in the set. Like, they could have been easier to pull, but also it's like Konami was very clear about that they were going to be very difficult to pull. They were going to be Starlight Rare type cards. So I don't know if I entirely agree with people saying that they were robbed of their ghost rares from this pack, because I feel like Konami was pretty clear with it from the beginning. Personally though, after opening 2 display boxes and pulling 0 ghost rares, despite knowing that this is probably what's going to happen when you buy 2 display boxes, yeah, it does feel a little bit disheartening. I think the 5 ghost rare choices are pretty good. I'm not even mad about Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. I think that card is really cool, but I really do think they could have upped the amount of ghost rares in a case so that more people had the opportunity to pull them. Maybe they also could have increased the amount of cards that came as ghost rares if they wanted to maintain the value of each individual ghost rare, because right now I think they're around like $500 or so. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about Ghosts from the Past. Did you buy it? Did you not? Did you buy singles versus boxes? Let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Goodbye.